Like freaking, I look like a bean today. So if you guys couldn't tell, we've landed a Subaru BRZ 2023 Subaru BRZ, to say the least, in ignition red. I kind of like the name Track Bread. Toyota got it better, but this is the new addition to the fleet, dare I say. I feel like this, you're getting the best bang for your buck in terms of an enthusiast driven car. We might as well take a little look at what's under the hood here. So one thing I really do enjoy is the fact that there is no hydraulic adjusters, lifters. You have to manually lift up the thing here, adjustment prop. I forgot what the thing's called. Anyways, you got the manual one. I really think that's in tune with the people who purchased this car. They put a nice Tokyo Roki oil filter on there, so be sure to keep up with that and get the same filter, not the blue Fram one. That is a piece of crap. However, yes, we have the FA24D motor, and if you have not heard already, if you've been keeping up at all with the 2nd Gen BRZ, unfortunately the FA24D suffers from a oil starvation issue. Not necessarily the RTV, like when it came out. We had an article on that, video on my channel. Check that out if you want to stay up to date with the problems of this car. There's a video on both issues. Number one, the RTV, and number two, the oil starvation upon taking right-hand turns. So with that being said, I do feel like a different motor might be warranted to be thrown in this. Another small addition that I really do enjoy is the strut braces. It is really nice to see. One thing I noticed is that says right and this says left, and I wonder in relation to what that is, like which way you're facing, because this is definitely not my right and that's definitely not my left. I'm just not gonna look at that ever again, so I don't have to get bugged by it. Other than that, there's tons of space in here to do whatever work you want to do. It's not like some of the newer cars where they pack as many things in the motor as possible, to where, you know, if you want to do like an alternator, you gotta put the car upside down and, you know, do whatever, you gotta do gymnastics to get to it. This is almost perfect to do any kind of work you want. Just, you know, if something goes wrong down the line, you're able to work on it and not just bring it to the dealer or, you know, have someone else work on it because it's a pain. This is perfect for enthusiasts, to where you're able to work on your car. And if you guys couldn't tell, I haven't really showcased too many things in regards to what I've done, but I've kind of made myself at home just a wee bit. You know, I got the storage organizer and whatnot, and a little blankie in here for when I want to go to sleep in my trunk. It does not come with a spare tire, unfortunately. If I could get this open, you know, you got the stuff under here, you got some storage room and whatnot, but no spare tire. You can, however, fit a spare tire in there if you feel the need to, if you're living in places with harsh weather. But as you can see, the room in the trunk is actually, it's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. I have a good bit of things in that storage organizer right there. You couldn't tell, I immediately threw on this ducktail, not duckbill, ducktail. I threw that on. The reason being, I personally feel like that just completes the look of the car. They should have included that as an option when you're ordering this from Subaru. Once again, Subaru got shafted by Toyota, and we threw a MXP Comp RS exhaust catback on here just to add a little bit of rumble, a little bit of small pops, bangs, raspiness, whatever you'd like to call it. MXP Comp, it's a pretty good base level exhaust that you could get without breaking the bank. You know, you're not getting like an AWE, Touring, whatever, any of those kind of exhausts. They do sound good, don't get me wrong. But like I said, if you just get the car and get different mods, such as, you know, the duckbill, and go with interior mods and whatnot, MXP Comp is a good like calculation exhaust where you're like, okay, 250 there, 250 there, whatever, instead of just throwing a grand at the exhaust and be like, all right, now I can't spend it on other things. The only thing that I really wish they offered, which is kind of tough to do with the Subaru logo, is black badges. I know on some of the newer Subarus like the Forester and whatnot, they do black badges. I'm kind of curious as to why they didn't do that with the BRZ, because I think that looks really sick. Look freaking sick, dude. Another two things I want to touch on real quick is the side markers. We got shafted over here in the US of A because we get these orange, rather not nice looking orange side markers here, whereas the Japanese versions of these cars get white side markers. Dude, we got shafted. White on that would look so much better. Why the orange? It doesn't make any sense. And another thing too is that Japanese shafted us again. They got fog lights. We didn't get fog lights. Dude, what's going on? We couldn't get fog lights in there. All the cars get fog lights. There's no fog lights on this. For what? And then you have the notorious mustache on the BRZ. Compliments to, I feel like myself. Stupid. So now we're gonna take a little peep at the interior. We'll take a look at the back. Nobody's fitting back there. It's a 2+2. That's just fine. You throw your loot back there, and that's literally it, dude. Other than that, this is more of a storage area, I would consider. Nobody's fitting back there. One small thing I want to point out is the child restraint, whatever these are called, holders, things right here. But when you're driving, these things, they create a lot of glare. As you can see there, it gets worse as you're driving when the sun is beaming them. So what some people do is they'll wrap these with suede, and honestly, that is a pretty good idea. Look at these vents, dude. Those vents are beautiful. I really think this is kind of like a retro style vent. You could just, you know, flop it all around and do whatever you want with it. My favorite style of vent to date. This is the best AC vent I've ever worked with. An absolute beautiful leather steering wheel, and we have red stitching that complements the Alcantara red stripe seats here. Very nice bucket seats. They hold you very well. They're absolutely comfortable, I would say. After driving this thing for hours, very comfortable seats. And now it is about that time. Press once, we have accessory mode. Then you give it another press, we have ignition mode. You have a little BRZ logo that does its thing, and then we have ignition on. Right, so on the blinker, there's a lot of fuss about the blinkers. Honestly, I don't mind them. I don't mind the blinkers at all. It's like BMW style blinkers. You know, you hit it once, you go up, blinks for like 3 seconds or something. So that's your change lane blinker, and then you have, if you click it up all the way, then it stays on for however long until you basically turn off the car or you hit the other side. But then that happens. This car is actually very lightweight, I would say. It comes in around 2,800 pounds, which is just under the 3,000 mark. And a lot of cars now are above that 3,000 mark. So I think that's definitely, I forget I think the Miata is one of the only ones that is close to the twins. I forget what the Miata comes in at, but the front end of this car, the hood and fenders are actually made of aluminum, so that helps with the lightweightness and the center of gravity. The hill assist is turned on by default. I turned that off immediately. When I was driving this thing, I wouldn't say it was very difficult, but it was definitely a pain to drive with the hill assist on. It creates kind of this like false brake. It makes it sucky to drive. So I turned that off immediately. I thought I was a problem. Nah, dude, hill assist was the problem. That was it right there. It was it definitely was not fun to drive with. So that came off immediately. Video coming up soon on how to turn hill assist off, seatbelt chime off, because that's definitely annoying when you drive around, you know, just a few feet and the seatbelt chime blows your ears out like you got headphones on. There's one more thing, is the fake engine noise, which you guys didn't hear, but it is kind of, I'm not gonna say it's annoying, it's definitely noticeable though when you turn it off. This right now is no fake engine noise, and it sounds a lot better. This thing is really snappy. If there's like a if there's a pothole and you need to avoid it, dude, you can just hit left, right, easy, and this thing just snaps. The steering is so responsive, and I love how like in tune it is with yourself. There's a lot of cars that when you're driving, their steering wheels, it's not unresponsive, but it's not as snappy as this. You don't feel as connected with the wheels. Older cars do a better job of making you feel more connected. I mean, I guess because you are way more connected. But yeah, everything in here is just like a raw driving experience, and I feel like that really makes this car worth what it is. It's definitely nice that this is a naturally aspirated car versus turbo. Like, I feel like it's so much nicer to have a naturally aspirated car for a daily. If you're looking at like a WRX or something, I mean, depending on where you live, you know, because this is my daily, I do plan on getting a set of snow tires for it. And I mean, just drive it like, you know, drive it like a 228 horsepower car, because that's what it is. It's only got 228, like you saw before when we were driving through the back roads over there. It's pretty zippy, like it gets up to speed pretty quick. It's a lightweight car and it's torquey, it has high compression, so you could get around town no problem and, you know, have fun in the back roads, but you could also just take it easy. And I feel like that makes this like a perfect enthusiast car. Overall, this car, I would say it's 9 out of 10 worth what you're paying for. You're gonna get what you're paying for. Other than that, that's where I'm gonna end today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a like down below. It really does go a long way, and while you're down there, consider subscribing. That shows me you guys like what I'm doing here. Today's video sponsor is windbooster.com. Go check them out. They have really cool throttle controllers. I did test one out in an Audi Q5, and let me tell you what, that thing has an inline 4 turbo, and that thing was really, it was like, I'm not gonna say it was really fast, but it definitely, that thing went, dude. You touch the throttle just a hair and that thing, it moved. Windbooster.com, go check them out. Use code JT15OFF for 15 off. Other than that, we're gonna end today's video there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Tire check. Oh, my babies. Really nice knobs.